Did you know that there's more to organizing your money than simply creating a budget? Well, that is why in this episode, you are going to learn 3 steps it takes to organize your money. This is how you will be able to see exactly what's going on and make solid financial decisions that won't affect your future. This is how you will be able to track your money without doing math. Like, how good does that feel? This is how you're going to be able to stick to your budget and reach your goals because you have a plan. But not only that, you will have a way to see how that plan is doing in real time. So go get your drink, open your heart to God, and let's dive in. If you're ready to build wealth, ensure financial security, stop overspending, and finally create a budget you can stick to, you mama are in the right place. Hi, I'm Molly, a budget coach and financial strategist who went from living paycheck to paycheck to paying off debt, saving money, and going on vacation, all by budgeting. And I help mamas just like you budget and create God-centered systems and routines so that you too can have financial freedom. Now stop pinching those pennies and let's dive in. Are you tired of not being able to stick to your budget? Do you wish there was a way to get rid of the inconsistent paychecks and have the same amount of money going towards your bills every single paycheck? Are you ready for financial freedom? Then let's get your money organized so that you can actually stick to your budget. It's time to bring consistency to your numbers every single time you sit down to budget. It's time to create a repeating number for your categories that you never have to change unless life changes. It's time to make tracking easy without the need to do math. Make this your reality by taking your first step towards organizing your money when you book a one-on-one budget coaching session. Snag your call directly by going to www.calendly.com/Molly Bunnell. Just imagine what your life will look like when you are no longer stressing over living paycheck to paycheck, when you are able to stick to your budget and do more with your money. Can you feel the freedom? Can you feel the excitement? All it takes is organizing your money for this to become your reality. Book your call now by going again to www.calendly.com/Molly Bunnell. Organization is so important in almost everything that you do, simply because when you're unorganized, it's hard to be able to see what's going on. It's hard to be able to do anything and to actually achieve your goals, right? When it comes to my schedule, I know that there are times when I'm just like, oh, I'm just going to try to fly by the seat of my pants. And when I do that, almost every single time, if I have to go somewhere, I am late. I'll try to plan, I'll try to be organized, and things just don't go as I imagine them in my head, right? And I'm sure you're right there with me because scheduling with kids is not easy. But when it comes to your money, it is the same way. Like, if you just have your money sitting in your account and all you do to see if you're on track or to see if you quote unquote have any money is by looking into your bank account and seeing that you have the money, air quote, to buy whatever it is that you want to buy, then when something comes up and you actually have to use that money, that's when things go down the drain rather rapidly, right? Because you ended up using that money that was supposed to be focused or put towards something else, whether it was a future thing that you were saving up for that needed to be saved up for right then and there, or whether it's something that you needed for your monthly expenses, like your bills or groceries, and now you're trying to pinch pennies to make it work. When you're not organized and you just have everything in one account, it's so hard to be able to stick to your budget. Because when you do it that way, the only way you can stick to your budget is by sitting down and doing a traditional style of tracking, which is adding up every single little expense and then taking out the amounts, like adding up the amounts that go towards a specific category. And I don't know about you. Actually, yes, I do. You're just like me. We don't have the time for that. We don't have the desire or the want to do that. And so it's so hard to be diligent and stick to something that you don't want to do. That is why my systems are the way that they are, because I didn't want to do the traditional style of budgeting. I tried it out. I made this elaborate budget that I absolutely loved to make because I love creating that kind of stuff. And it was so interactive, like from one sheet to another. It was in a spreadsheet. And it just was wonderful and beautiful. But then when I went to use it, it was unrealistic to my lifestyle. It was not easy to do. It was more work than I wanted. And I just pushed it away. I pushed it to the side. So then when we became a one-income family, I just fell into the rut that everybody does of living paycheck to paycheck and paying your bills first, then buying your groceries, and then, spending the rest however you want, and feeling like that there was nothing else to do with that money but spend it. Like there was barely anything left. So why should I try to save it for something, right? Those were just the things that were constantly going through my head. And now that I have the system in place, or the systems that I talk about in this podcast, I am able to actually make goals and reach them. I'm able to live in peace instead of stress and overwhelm, wondering where that money's going to come from for my registrations, for my taxes, for all that kind of stuff that is a yearly expense. Like I am saving for that throughout the year very easily and stress-free, and you can be doing that too. That is why in today's episode, I want to share with you how to organize your money so that you can stick to it. Now, I have 3 very specific tips or steps, I should say, 3 steps for you to take in order to organize your money. And I do want to say that these are the steps that I teach on and I walk you through. So if you are confused and you want more information, please reach out so that I can help you get through it and maybe even get on a call so that we can actually set it up for you, right? Okay, so the first step that I want to talk about is separating out your money. So when you separate out all of your money, you're able to see what is going on much easier, much more clear. You're able to track it in a way that's not difficult, right? You don't have to do all that math. And you're able to just take a deep breath and figure out what's going right then and there versus what's going on a month later. Because the traditional budgeting system, you generally have to just spend your money as you go, hope that you stick to it. Then you add it up at the end of the month and you see, well, did I stick to that category? Did I reach that? Did I achieve that? You don't have to worry about that when you separate it out. So separating out your money, what I'm talking about is my digital cash envelope system, which then specifically speaking is your bank accounts, right? That is the first level of separating out your money, is creating bank accounts that allow you to be able to see your money and to be able to keep track of it much easier and much more simply than keeping it all in one account. Because again, that is hard to know what is going on, especially in real time. When you open up that account and you say, oh, I've got plenty of money in that account, I can buy whatever I want. When in all reality, that money could be something you're trying to save up for, or that money could be needed for a bill that's coming up in a few days. But you just don't remember it because it's not in the forefront of your brain, right? So when you separate out your money into these bank accounts, then you are able to know, don't touch the bills account because that is specifically designed to pay my bills. And if I do, then I am going to be hurting financially, right? I won't be able to pay my bills. Then you have other accounts that maybe are more specific to your goals and your wants and your desires. But then you also have your spending accounts that you can freely use. You can open them, say, oh, I've got some money, I can buy this thing. Or I better save up for that because I don't have it right now. And if I do go and get that thing, then I could be in a financial hard place, pinching pennies like I used to live, right? You are able to see what's going on so much easier, so much quicker, and make a solid financial decision that is not going to put you into a financial hard place, right? So the second place to separate it out is with categories. So yes, you're still going to have categories inside some of your accounts, especially your savings accounts, because you don't really need a whole bunch of different savings accounts, but you do need to still be able to track how you spend it. And the spending of your savings accounts is generally less, so it's not as time consuming and difficult to track. Like, you're not going to be in there spending money from your savings account every single day, or you're going to get penalized, right? So definitely you're still going to have your categories inside of your accounts, and sometimes even your spending accounts, you'll have categories, but you'll have systems in place to prevent yourself from spending the money that is needed for a different category, right? And then the third place that you can separate it out, which I kind of already touched on, is your savings account, which is where you house most of your financial goals. And I say most because sometimes the financial goal can be being able to spend your money freely. So you give yourself a little extra spending money maybe, and that can be a goal, which would not be in a savings account, right? But your goals, so like your sinking funds to be able to pay for yearly expenses, your goals to be able to pay off debt, your goals to be able to save up for a vacation, those kind of things are going to be housed, and you need to have it separated into another savings account. Like, you don't want your sinking funds and your fun money savings in the same account, or when you go to spend that sinking fund money, you may spend the money that was supposed to be used for your fun money, right? So you definitely want a few different savings accounts and categorize them and prioritize them to what it is that it's supposed to be, like its purpose. Figure out its purpose so that when you go in to spend money or you go in to transfer money into an account so you can spend it, what it is that you are affecting when you spend that money. Okay, so the second way to organize your money so that you can stick to it is by making it consistent and repeatable or recurring, whatever word you like to resonate with. When you make your paycheck numbers consistent, repeatable, recurring, you take away your instability of paying bills as they come and create a consistent number that you can put away into your bills account that is the same every single paycheck. So when you are doing this, then once your paycheck or once your bills are consistent and the same amount is coming out of every single paycheck, you are able to make the rest of your category numbers the same. You're able to make them repeatable and recurring every single paycheck. And then all you have to do is go back in when you get paid and put the money that isn't put in the budget, right? Because the budgeting system that I have you set up is one where there is margin automatically put into your account. So you have your base budget, but then you go back in and you put the actual numbers that is remaining into your savings or whatever goal it is that you're needing to achieve, whatever your priority is, or maybe something is happening in life and you need to be able to address it with that money, right? So that is how you are able to let go of the stress, let go of the overwhelm, is when you make your numbers consistent. Not only are you able to see what's going on, but you're able to just quickly transfer that money and know that everything that you want to achieve, that you and your husband sat down and planned out, is going to happen. Instead of you going, well, I wonder if this will happen this month. Will I actually put that money towards this? Will I actually reach that goal? Will I actually do this? No, there's no questioning. You know that you will do it because you have consistent, recurring, repeatable numbers, repeatable paycheck plans that all you have to do when you sit down to budget is put or allocate the remaining income that is your margin into its location that you've already predetermined, or life is saying, hey, you need to take care of this, right? How stress-free is that? Like, how exciting is that to only have to sit down and make 2 decisions essentially for your budgeting, because everything else stays exactly the same and does not need to be changed. Like, when I finally started doing that, the stress just came off and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so much easier. This is so nice to be able to do this, to be able to not have to go in and move this money unless I absolutely have to be able to let it build up and create a good savings account that can be used later on when needed, to also be able to put money away for my bills that are yearly and that I don't think about, that are cost that I'm just like, oh my gosh, where's that money going to come from? Before, I used to come up with that money, which I put air quotes around that, but come up with that money, right? The way I did that was with tax returns. That's how I was able to pay for car registration, to pay for taxes, to pay for things that were yearly expenses and unexpected expenses. And then when that money was gone, it was gone. There was no rhyme or reason to it. Now it's organized. There's a reason and a purpose behind every financial thing that I do. And it makes it so much easier to be able to have a heart that's willing to give, that's excited to give, because I'm not stressing over whether I'm going to make a financial decision that's going to negatively affect my family. Because that is my biggest fear, right? That is a fear that you worry about, is whether or not you are safe, whether you have that financial security. That is a worry and a fear. And this system, especially when you have consistent and recurring numbers, is how you are going to be able to let go of that fear, to let go of that worry, and to embrace a giving heart, a loving heart, and be able to do the things that God is asking you to do financially that maybe before you were too scared to do. Now you know what's going on and you can follow His direction without worry of it affecting something. And that is just so life-giving. It also allows you to be able to do more with your money, because when you can see what's going on and you know how much money you have to be able to do things, you can do the things that you want to do. You can go to that movie. You can save up for a vacation. You can give to a charity, like whatever it is that more means to you. Like, what does it mean to do more with your money? What is your definition of that? Because this system is going to allow you to achieve that, to reach that, and to be able to embrace a life that is not full of stress or worry. You know that you're financially secure. You know that God is going to provide even if you are struggling, and you are able to lean on God and these systems and know that you can do more with your money than simply just pay your bills and spend the rest of it, right? Okay. So the third thing, or the third way to organize your money, is by creating a plan. And yes, I made this the third thing because without first separating out your money and then making your numbers consistent, creating a plan is simply like creating a traditional budget. Like, it's all in one account and it's not easy to track. So that's why this is the third step that I want you to focus on. And yes, that is why I put these in the specific order that they are in. But the third thing that you need to do is then create a plan. First, focused on saving first, which is my base budget system. If you don't know what that is, go check it out. I have an episode on it. But that is how you put money back into your account. That's how you have margin. That's how you're able to take care of unexpected expenses that come up throughout the month that maybe you forgot to budget for. That is your breath of fresh air when it comes to budgeting, because you're not spending every single cent. You are saving a good section of it, and you know that you will be able to do the things that you want to do more with your money, to reach your goals that you are wanting to do, right? So then the second part of creating a plan is to put your numbers towards your categories, right? You have to decide, how much money are you going to put towards gas, towards groceries? How much do you have to put towards bills, and how much do you split it up by so that the numbers are consistent for each and every paycheck? When can you put that system into place, right? Because you're not going to be able to do it right away, especially if it's on a high pay day or bill week. That's what I'm trying to say. Especially if you have a lot of bills coming out that pay cycle and it's going to take darn near your entire paycheck, then no, you're not going to be able to implement that system right away, right? But if that's something you want to do, I definitely have a way to figure out when you can start implementing that plan. So definitely reach out and we can get you on a budget coaching call and get that system in place for you. But that is the second step. Like, you need to first focus on savings, then you need to put numbers towards your categories. Like, what numbers are you currently doing? Don't try to just guess or put numbers that you would like to be reaching, because that's not reality. That's not going to be something you can stick to, and that's not going to be something that's going to make you feel good, because you're going to just throw another budget yet out the window because it didn't work. Well, it didn't work because you put unrealistic numbers in that you weren't ready for, right? And you didn't actually know what was going on. So take some time, review what you've already done so that you can set up numbers that are actually your numbers, and then slowly start tweaking it to the numbers that you want them to be. The third thing then is to set your goals. So these goals, these savings, are going to first be your yearly expenses, because those have to be saved for 100% so that you're not worrying about insurance, you're not worrying about taxes, you're not worrying about registration, like where that money is coming from. You know where that money is. You know that you're going to be able to pay for it. If you get beef or half a hog or any other kind of meat, you save up for that too, so that you know when it comes, you have the money to pay for it. And then your other goals, your fun goals, your other sinking funds that maybe you need to pay for, like kids' sports or Christmas. Those aren't quite as important, but they are still something that you do. It is something that defines who your family is. And if you want to be able to have a lot of presents for Christmas, because that's something that's a goal of yours, it's not really a goal of mine. So we generally save about $600 to $800 throughout the year. And then if we need more money for Christmas, we use what's in our actual monthly budget, right? So that's our system for that. But there are so many things that you can do, but if you don't have your goals set, you don't know what you want to do, and you don't have them prioritized so that you reach the most important thing first, then you are not going to reach those goals, right? So definitely make sure that you sit down and you have a look at what your goals are. Okay, so let's walk back through the 3 steps that you need to take in order to organize your money so that you can stick to it. The first one, separate out your income. Do not keep it all in one account. That is going to be too hard to track, and it's going to be time consuming. It's the traditional style of budgeting, I guess. If that's what you want to do, then have at it. But your diligence and your self-control have to be extremely high to be able to stick to your budget with the traditional style of budgeting. Step number 2, make your numbers consistent, repeatable, and recurring. You do that through making your bills the same amount come out of your paycheck every single paycheck. If you want more information on that, I do have an episode, but you can also reach out and we can get that system set up together so that you can have it going right now versus trying to figure it out by yourself, right? The third step then is to create your plan, is to create your budget. First by savings, second by creating your numbers that need to go in your categories that are realistic, what you're actually doing. And third by then setting your goals and prioritizing them so that the most important things are focused on first, because you're not going to be able to reach every single goal because your funds will eventually run out, right? So you have to be okay with what your goals are and know that the most important ones will be achieved and the rest will come as they may, right? Because that's finances. You don't have an infinite number of income coming in, and no, you don't need more income. You simply just need to organize your money. Alrighty, so like I said throughout this episode, if this is something that you would like to have done quickly and put in place right away, then reach out to me and we can get your money organized quickly so that you can start sticking to it this month versus a year from now, right? So if you would like more information on that, you can email me at mollybennell@gmail.com. But if you are ready to jump in and just get started, then you can go to www.calendly.com/mollybennell. Man, it's kind of hard to breathe right now with my pregnant belly. I'm getting so excited that I've been huffing and puffing this whole time. Sorry. Back to what I was saying. If you're ready to just jump in and book your session before somebody else does, especially since this baby is about to pop and we don't have a lot more time left, you can grab yourself a budget coaching session right now at www.calendly.com/mollybennell. So that's CALENDLY /Molly with a Y, B as in boy, ENELL. And with that being said, I'm super excited to work with you. I love organizing money. This is my jam. And I look forward to meeting you. Hey mama, I pray that today's episode has inspired you and grew you. If so, will you please share it with that friend who is praying for a budget breakthrough, and leave a rating and review so that you can help get the podcast out to other mamas struggling with their budget. Also, get some support for yourself by joining my free Facebook group and becoming an insider, where you get weekly support emails and are the first to find out when something new is on its way. You can find the links in the show notes, and I will see you right back here next Tuesday.